What's up, everyone? My name is Caleb, and welcome to my very first episode of Caleb's Corner, where I talk about movies. Now, today's episode is about superhero movie opinions, where I got a guest star, Riley Coyle.
What's up, guys?
Riley is from the Riles and Will podcast, is that right?
Yeah, you can check that out, Riles and Will on CITV.
It is very, very funny stuff. So, let's get into it. What is your favorite superhero movie?
All right, so I know this is more of like an uncommon opinion, but it has to be The Amazing Spider-Man.
Really?
Yeah, with Andrew Garfield.
Wow.
I don't know what it is about it. Well, I really like the way that he portrayed Spider-Man. Not so much Peter Parker, but the way that he showed himself as Spider-Man.
Yeah, I can respect that. It's not my favorite.
Yeah, no, I wasn't expecting that.
Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 2 has always been personally my favorite.
Tobey Maguire is just classic.
I just like
it's so good.
It's just fun just like seeing just like the struggles that like he like goes through.
Exactly, because he was like, I mean, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, they had like nobody with them.
Exactly.
It was just them, only they really knew.
I would definitely say that after watching No Way Home, I definitely liked Andrew Garfield a lot more in that, and it's kind of made me like want to go back and watch those movies again. Though Amazing Spider-Man 2 was always my least favorite.
It was just weird. It was all over the place with Electro.
Yeah. All right, so let's go to the question 2. What is a superhero movie that you just don't like?
All right, so this one took a lot of thinking, but I had to settle on Green Lantern.
Because
it's like I love Ryan Reynolds, great actor, but dude, what are you doing?
I watched it one time. It was actually the very first PG-13 movie I ever saw.
Really?
Yes. And,
that's a
great one
way
to start one.
Great way to start it off. And no, that wasn't my favorite movie.
Yeah, I just remember watching it as a kid and just thinking, wow, this movie kind of sucks.
Yeah.
For me, my least favorite superhero movie. See, I don't like Batman and Robin, just because it's
the old one, what was that, 97?
Yeah, with George Clooney as Batman.
Yeah.
It's just it's goofy, but it's like too goofy. Like the 1960s Batman's pretty goofy, but you know, it's.
I hear you. I can definitely get behind that.
So, what is it about superhero movies that you like?
Well, so I grew up just being like a superhero lover. Like when I was younger, I think maybe my 4th birthday party was like superhero themed and it was like all decked out. So like seeing those movies now is kind of like in a way nostalgic. So it just like brings me back. So I'm always hooked with them.
Yeah, like in the preschool era for me, on TV, there'd always be a superhero cartoon, whether that be
cartoons
Marvel.
and comics.
Yeah,
always.
There was the Young Justice League series. I used to watch that all the time, and they would show reruns of the Batman animated series.
Yeah, no, there are always some the little cartoons like Teen Titans.
Yeah,
which is it's nothing crazy, but it'll pull you in for a little while, and it's still invested in superhero type stuff.
Yeah, and then I remember finding out there were live action superhero movies.
Exactly.
And I'm I want to watch these.
Yeah, it's some real actual cool stuff.
So to go on to the next one, this could be a lot of debate for this one. So who do you think has the better movies? Is it Marvel or is it DC?
All right, so I have a strong opinion or a strong side for Marvel, because I feel don't get me wrong, DC movies are amazing.
Yes.
But I feel it's at a point where they're so dark. The mood is just so gloomy. And after seeing the new Batman, I'm not spoiling anything, but it's just the whole mood is low, and I feel I don't know, superheroes got to have that little
energy.
of faith and energy. Yeah.
See,
are you a DC guy?
it's DC. Whenever they make good movies, they make good movies.
Yeah, there's some good movies.
But when they make a bad movie, it is.
It's really hit or
bad.
miss. It's no in between. It's either it's great or it's just.
Yeah, and with Marvel, it's it's either good or it's kind of mediocre.
Yeah, I mean there are definitely a few bad Marvel movies.
Oh yeah, I think Thor: The Dark World is the worst.
I hate it. I don't think I even finished the movie. I was watching. I'm I can't.
It's the most. It's how do you make a Thor movie boring? It's Thor.
Exactly.
He's the god of thunder.
It's crazy.
Nah, but I think I'd have to say Marvel just because there are more good ones than bad ones. I would say
there's a broader selection because at that point every superhero has multiple movies except for I think Hulk.
Yeah, and I'll have to get to like every superhero having a movie later in this
Yeah.
podcast because there's a funny joke about that. Anyways, to go into the next question, do you think that there are like too many superhero movies right now in the film business? Like it's just like getting oversaturated.
I feel like they're just enough with like the original. Well, if we're talking Marvel, I feel like they're just enough with like the Avengers and like the regular well-known people. But then when they're coming out with all this like Shang-Chi stuff, and it's not really stuff that I'm like crazy about.
Yeah.
Just like, I mean, some of those are like, eh.
Yeah.
But, I think it's a good amount.
Yeah, I personally think that they're coming out with too many like too quickly because like
Yeah.
before it was like we would get like one like every
couple
year.
years.
Like Iron Man, and then it was like Iron Man and then Iron Man 2, which like I think there was like a year gap between each
Yeah.
other. And then you know with the Dark Knight trilogy, it was like 3 years gaps between them.
Yeah, it's like the same with through movies and music. Like if you put too much stuff out at once, it just like clutters together. But if you space it out too much, then people get annoyed. It's like,
Yeah, or they just like lose like the hype too.
yeah, I think there was a solid little midpoint that you got to hit.
Yeah, I saw the Teen Titans Go movie, which it's better than the show itself.
Is it? I
Yes.
don't think I've seen the movie.
But it's like pretty much the whole thing is that like everybody's getting a movie. So like it's like the Batmobile, the movie, Alfred, the movie, the Bat utility belt, the
Honestly,
movie.
I feel like out of all that stuff that you just said, I feel like Alfred could possibly get his own movie.
Yeah, like when
Which I feel like it would be really cool, like
you ever
actually with the Wayne parents.
have you ever seen Gotham before? Like the show?
My brother watched it a lot, and I would watch it occasionally with him.
Yeah, well, it's like a younger Alfred, but like
Yeah.
he can.
Because it's like Bruce Wayne growing up, right?
Yeah, and like Alfred, like he doesn't pull any punches. Like,
Yeah. No, yeah.
all right. So to go into the next question, do you think that superhero movies should just have their own genre rather than just be called action movies?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because
'Cause-
like there's so many of them.
Yeah, and they're not all like fully action.
Yeah,
like,
you
they're
have, like,
action, but there's also like
Yeah, comedies. too.
comedies, and there's like mix of emotion in there to the point where I think they're all settled out that it's like the same category.
Yeah, I think like before, like back in like the 80s or 90s, like you could just call it action movies because like there was only like really like Superman and Batman were like the only two like superhero movies out there.
Yeah, there's
at that
nothing
time.
like crazy.
So, but like now with like how many they've come out with, and like so many of them are different genres as well.
I mean, I feel like if that's being asked, you can definitely say like in a library, do they have a superhero book section? Like I feel like they
Yeah,
do.
there's like a comic book section.
Exactly. So you could throw that in there. And I don't know. I definitely think they should have their own category.
I think we should make that happen at one point.
I will help you with that.
All right. So what superhero do you think has the best movies? And like I'm not counting like the group movies, like no Avengers or like Suicide
Yeah, like
Squad.
the individual. I gotta say either Spider-Man
I would have to agree.
or Iron Man.
Really?
'Cause I love the Iron Man movies, like seeing how he actually. Well, so all right. So if I was going Spider-Man, I would go with the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies because they were all. I feel like they were all just good, and it was like you saw everything throughout the years. But then the Iron Man movies, like, it got a little out of hand towards the end, but the way that they showed him, like, actually getting his heart, how he got there, how he was like stupid rich.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, what about you?
So for me, I had to divide it between two.
Yeah.
So for DC, I think Batman definitely has the best of like the movies.
Hands down.
He's had like the most ones and the most actors that played him. And then for Marvel, I would say it was the Spider-Man, which oddly enough, it's like Spider-Man and Batman with like their movies are kind of like similar, like not in like the like how they look, just like many actors have played them, and they have the most movies in
Yeah.
like their series.
Which Spider-Man would you say was your favorite?
I'd have to say Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, all right.
It's the first one I saw, the one I grew up on,
Exactly.
and
I think he had the coolest suit though, as well.
yeah, it's like
Which it was like,
I'm not gonna lie, I never really like felt like Tom Holland's like first suit in Spider-Man Homecoming.
yeah.
I don't know. I just didn't really like just like the
I feel like Tom Holland's suits are too high tech for the
Yeah.
original. Like the Spider-Man that we know is like works on his own. The
he
friendly
makes his own
neighborhood
suits.
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
But this is like
Tony Stark.
all metal.
made it
Exactly. He's got a
all-
billionaire.
like
helping
he's
him.
like he's like in space and like
Exactly. Like how? I don't know. I don't get
But
it.
like, I'm not saying it's terrible. It's just
Yeah, it's just a
it's
little
not my favorite.
step in a different direction.
Yeah.
So
All right.
I like it though.
So one last question, and this is just a little bonus question in spite of the new Batman movie that came out. Yeah. What is your favorite Batman actor or movie? Because they both could be different. That's for me at least.
I think, especially after seeing this new Batman, I think the Christian Bale movies are better because he does like the. I gotta think of my words here. Because I think Christian Bale does a great job, like painting the picture of a classy, rich Bruce Wayne who's like has a second identity as Batman, which like I thought was amazing. And then like in the new one, I think it's kind of just one guy.
Yeah. No, I think you just got to give him like time because like it's only been one movie right now. Because like I'm sure when like people first saw Batman Begins, like they were like, all right, he's good, but like what he's gonna do next?
I'm excited to see where the new one can go.
Yeah. So for me, my favorite Batman movie it's not The Dark Knight or the new one that just came out. I've always loved that first Michael Keaton movie.
Really? So
Yes.
we're going back.
Yes, like Jack Nicholson as the Joker, I think is great.
Yeah.
I can never like choose between him or Heath Ledger, just because I like both of them. I just like the gangster like side of Joker in those movies, and I just like it looks like how like if like you slapped a comic book on like a camera, like that's like what it would look like to me.
No, I like how you said the Joker aspect in there, because like Dark Knight Joker,
He's like,
it was something else.
yeah,
It was something else.
but I don't know. It's just it was my first Batman movie too, so
Yeah,
that
I
could
don't-
also play in the factor.
Honestly, I can't recall seeing like the entire movie. I might have to go.
You should go back
I'm
and watch that
definitely gonna
tonight.
have to go and rewatch that.
Wow. Well, guys, that's all the questions I have for today. So, Riley, thank you for being on my podcast.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
And I'll see you in the next one.